was wonderful music. I'm going to demand that play before I walk into the legislature. See how I'm received. Herinda, thank you so very much for a very kind and generous introduction, and thank you for the fabulous work you're doing on our behalf as our Minister of Government Services. I'd like to begin by saying a special hello to my good friend, Consul General Preeti Saran, and to extend a very warm welcome to our very special guest, Dr. Deepak Chopra. It's also a pleasure to see some of my colleagues here, both from Queen's Park and Ottawa tonight. I want to begin by thanking the Canada-India Foundation for this invitation. I also want to thank your national convener, Rahul, for his leadership. And to the members of the Foundation, thank you for the work you do to help us build a stronger Ontario and a stronger Canada. Thank you for the risks you take, the investments you make, the jobs you create, the families that you thereby support. And I thank you as well for the wealth that you create and the taxes the taxes that you pay, because you help us support our schools and our healthcare and our public sector research and innovation. You lend shape to a society. I think at the end of the day, we yearn, we aspire to more than just a strong economy. We want to speak to the notion of a caring society, that lovely old-fashioned notion that conjures up this understanding that you and I, we are in this together. We touch one another. We need one another. It appeals to an abiding conviction that reminds us that it is right to help one another, right to lift each other up, right to work together and build together. And you contribute to that through your hard work every day here in Ontario and Canada. I also applaud you for the work you do through the Canada-India Foundation to ensure that we establish ever stronger trade ties with our friend India. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, friends, being here this evening reminds me of my trade missions to India, where I learned that we share a lot, including our love of sport. When I tell Indians I come from a family of 10 children, they often say, "Such a shame. One short of a full side." My other fond memory of India is being introduced to the work of Rabindranath Tagore. Some of you may know my dad was a professor of Romantic poetry. And I know that he would have loved Tagore's description of service, which has become a favorite of mine. He said, "I slept and dreamt that life was joy. I awoke and saw that life was service. I acted, and behold, service was joy." And when we speak of a life of service and joy, it's only natural that we think of Dr. Deepak Chopra, respected physician, philanthropist, spiritual leader, best-selling author, and one of India's greatest ambassadors to the world. Dr. Chopra, you have a lot of admirers here this evening, and it's easy to understand why, because you inspire us. You once said, "Each of us is a unique strand in the intricate web of life, and we are here to make a contribution." Tonight, we thank you for your contribution. We thank you for your words that have helped bring people together, not just as Indians and Canadians, but as members of a single human family. And we thank you for your deeds as well. You know, Shakespeare said, "Action is eloquence," and you have been most eloquent, sir. We thank you for the children living in housing projects who have been empowered through the gift of art and music. We thank you for the pregnant women who are given what they need to have a healthy baby. We thank you for heroin addicts who can find treatment. We thank you for your commitment, your vision, your leadership. And we congratulate you on receiving the Canada-India Foundation's Chanchalani Global Indian Award, a distinction that is celebrated not only here in Canada, but recognized around the world. Of course, here in Ontario, India is never very far away. Indian culture lives and thrives in Ontario. We see it in the festivals that celebrate Indian traditions in cities throughout the province. in our arts and entertainment festivals, such as red carpet Bollywood premieres and the magnificent IFA Awards we hosted last year. I must say I thoroughly enjoyed making public appearances with people like Anil Kapoor and Shah Rukh Khan. And when I did so, I couldn't get over the size of the crowds that were coming out to see me. We see the Indian influence for good in our legislature, where so many of my colleagues can trace their roots to India, and on Parliament Hill as well. We see it in our shops and stores and at our corporate boardroom tables. We are connected by ties of family and culture to India. And with 600,000 Ontarians of Indian origin, and with India's star rising in the global economy, that connection is a great competitive advantage. And we need every advantage in a challenging economy. Ontario is moving in the right direction, but the recovery is still fragile. Our plan will eliminate the deficit and build a strong foundation for jobs and growth. Our budget will provide stability, giving our families and businesses and international investors alike the confidence they need and seek. The times call for us to be at our very best, and that means doing what we've always done. We work best when we work together, and when Ontario and India work together. In strengthening our trade, we strengthen our economies. When we do that, we stand up for shared values, like good schools for all our children and quality health care for all our families. And as we face our challenges, we should be mindful of the advice offered by Dr. Chopra. He said, "Challenges are solved by rising to a level higher than the challenge. Together, we Ontarians will confront our challenges by rising to a still higher level, and we will succeed. And we will do this for the most important reason of all. We will do it for our children and our grandchildren, so that they too can enjoy the extraordinary quality of life found right here in Ontario. I believe it's the greatest province in the best country in the world." Thank you very much. Enjoy the evening. Thank you. Thank you.